The hidden rules of self-mastery. No one talks about. What if the biggest reason people never master themselves is not lack of effort, but the fact that they are playing by rules that were never explained to them? It looks like some people are naturally disciplined, focused, and in control, while others keep trying and falling back into the same cycles. But beneath the surface, there are hidden patterns that shape behavior in ways most people never notice. Research in psychology shows that self-control is not just about resisting temptation. It is about understanding how the mind operates under pressure, distraction, and routine. And once those hidden rules are seen clearly, self-mastery stops feeling like something reserved for a few, and starts becoming something that can actually be built step by step. Self-control is not about constant resistance. The common idea of self-control is the ability to say no again and again, to fight urges and push through distractions using pure willpower. But this approach quietly drains energy. The brain treats constant resistance as stress, and over time, it starts looking for ways to escape that pressure. This is why people feel strong in the beginning and then suddenly give in. The hidden rule here is that real self-mastery is not built on fighting everything. It is built on reducing how often those fights are needed. When decisions are simplified and unnecessary temptations are removed, the need for resistance drops. The result is not just better control, but less mental exhaustion, making consistency easier to maintain without feeling constantly tested. Clarity beats motivation every time. Most people wait to feel motivated before taking action, but motivation is unreliable and unpredictable. Clarity, on the other hand, creates direction. When the mind knows exactly what needs to be done and why it matters, hesitation decreases. The problem is that vague goals create vague effort. Saying something like wanting to improve or do better does not give the brain a clear path to follow. But when actions are defined in specific, simple terms, execution becomes easier. The hidden rule is that clarity removes friction. It turns intention into something actionable. And once the path is clear, progress becomes less about forcing energy and more about following a defined direction. Emotions drive behavior more than logic. It is easy to believe that decisions are made logically, but in reality, our emotions play a much stronger role. Even when something is known to be beneficial, it can still be avoided if it feels uncomfortable. The brain is wired to move toward what feels good and away from what feels difficult. This is why habits often contradict long-term goals. The hidden rule is that mastering behavior requires understanding emotional triggers, not ignoring them. When emotions are recognized and managed instead of suppressed, they lose some of their control. Over time, this awareness creates space to choose actions more deliberately instead of reacting automatically. The environment shapes more than discipline. There is a strong belief that discipline should be strong enough to overcome any situation, but environment often decides behavior before discipline even gets a chance. Say, the brain constantly responds to cues in its surroundings. If distractions are easy to access, attention gets pulled away. If productive tools are within reach, action becomes easier. The hidden rule here is that environment quietly directs behavior. Changing surroundings can reduce bad habits without relying on constant effort. It is not about control through force. It is about designing conditions where the right actions happen more naturally and consistently. Small decisions carry more weight than big ones. Big decisions feel important because they are noticeable and often emotional. But it is the small, repeated decisions that shape outcomes over time. Choosing to delay a task, skipping a routine, or taking an easier option might not seem significant in the moment. But when these choices repeat, they form patterns. The hidden rule is that self-mastery is built in these unnoticed moments. The brain adapts to what is repeated, not what is intended. This means that small actions, done consistently, carry more long-term impact than occasional big efforts. Recognizing this shifts focus from dramatic changes to steady, daily choices. Energy management is more important than time management. Many people try to organize their time better, but still struggle to stay consistent. The missing piece is energy. The brain performs differently depending on energy levels. When energy is low, focus drops and distractions become more appealing. Trying to force productivity in that state often leads to frustration. The hidden rule is that managing energy creates better results than simply managing time. Aligning tasks with natural energy peaks, allowing proper rest, and avoiding overload can improve consistency without increasing effort. When energy is stable, discipline feels less forced and more sustainable. Identity shapes behavior more than goals. Goals provide direction, but identity determines action. If someone sees themselves as inconsistent or easily distracted, their behavior will often match that belief. Even with strong goals, this internal perception creates resistance. The hidden rule is that self-mastery requires shifting identity, not just setting targets. Small, consistent actions provide evidence that gradually changes how the brain sees itself. Over time, this new identity supports better behavior naturally. Instead of trying to act disciplined, the brain starts believing it already is, and actions follow that belief with less effort. Discomfort is a signal, not a stop sign. Discomfort is often interpreted as something to avoid, a sign that something is wrong or too difficult. But in many cases, discomfort simply means growth is happening. The brain prefers familiarity, so anything new or challenging feels uncomfortable at first. The hidden rule is that avoiding discomfort limits progress. Learning to move through it, even in small steps, reduces its intensity over time. The more often discomfort is faced, the less control it has. This builds resilience naturally, without needing extreme effort or motivation. Consistency is built on recovery, not perfection. One of the biggest reasons people fail at self-mastery is the belief that consistency means never slipping. But mistakes are part of the process. See, missing a day or falling off routine does not break progress unless it turns into a pattern. The hidden rule is that recovery matters more than perfection. The ability to return quickly after a setback is what maintains momentum. When this mindset is adopted, small failures lose their impact. Instead of stopping completely, progress continues with minimal interruption, making consistency more stable over time. Awareness is the foundation of control. Without awareness, behavior runs on autopilot. Habits, reactions, and decisions happen without much thought. This is where most people lose control without realizing it. The hidden rule is that awareness creates choice. When patterns are noticed, they can be adjusted. This does not require constant overthinking, but it does require moments of reflection. Recognizing triggers, understanding reactions, and observing behavior creates the opportunity to respond differently. Over time, this awareness builds a level of control that feels natural instead of forced. Self-mastery is not built on extreme discipline or constant struggle. It is shaped by understanding these hidden rules and applying them in small, consistent ways. The process is not about becoming perfect, but about becoming more aware, more intentional, and more aligned with how the mind actually works. The real shift begins with recognizing what has been overlooked and making small adjustments that lead to lasting change. Share what stood out the most and keep the conversation going. And if mastering the mind is the goal, staying connected will make sure the next step is always clear.